Hey everybody, it's your boy John coming with another review. This time Creepy presents Steve Ditko. This is a collection of stories from Creepy Magazine and Eerie Magazine from the 1960s, shortly after Steve Ditko left Marvel. He had some disagreements with Stan Lee over the direction of Spider-Man, and so he went and joined the Creepy gang over here and did some short stories for them. These are generally about, 8-page short stories. I enjoyed them a little more than the Marvel short stories because the Marvel short stories were 4 pages and a splash page, while each one of these has a little bit more time to develop things. And so you get a little better sense of the stories here. And you see they're all over the map. Collector's editions about a comic book and dealing with that. We got a Beast Man, we got a werewolf story. We got some old sorcery stuff. We've got a lot of good content in here, and it starts with a big foreword explaining the history of the comic, and dives right into this thing. Look at the beautiful art by Steve Ditko. This was a really neat opener where a spirit inhabits a guy, and he frames somebody else for a crime, and the spirit transfers bodies. It's very, very interesting, very, very fun. Collector's edition was not about a comic, I'm sorry. It was about an old ancient book, and he wanted this ancient, devilry book. As you see, Ditko's art is just absolutely astounding through here. And, of course, the book is no good when people read it, and they get obsessed with it, and bad things happen. This is our Beast Man here. Look at that dynamic art right there. Beautiful. Most of these stories are written by Archie Goodwin, and the reason I picked this up is Chuck Dixon told me that Archie Goodwin was his favorite writer, and I read a couple stories by Archie Goodwin from the 80s, and I wasn't all that impressed with them. I'm like, these are okay. Here's our nice werewolf story. And he said I should read this because it has some of his best work. Look at that right there. That's just cool. And I read it, and I agree. This is absolutely phenomenal work. And, when Chuck Dixon tells you to read something, you read it. So it was nice being able to read these 8-page short stories. This is just a very bizarre, I don't know how he came up with that. That's just, just cool stuff that, people are not going to be able to find. So shadow creatures from another dimension. Fun stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed, I really loved when he went back into, sword and sorcery type stories. I think those are probably my favorite out of the book. And this one's about a guy who gets a sword that's magical and all that. Just very fun stuff. Beautiful all the way around. I didn't see any bad art through here. Oh, this was a fun concept. They were, whatever he draws in this world comes true, and so he drew a evil man or whatever, and he came after them, and they were trying to draw something then to stop him. And when he crumples up the paper, it just crumples up the monster and can't get rid of him. Very, very fun concept right there. All right, yeah, the entire book was just good. It's just, like I said, short stories. They're very dynamic, very creepy, as is mentioned. The black magic here is a fun one. As you see, it's about a sorcerer who was trying to do some necromancy. Turns out somebody else did necromancy on him, was the twist, and then he grows old and dies real quick. Very fun. This is one of those ruby stories where it's like, oh, I really need that ruby. It's one of those don't be too greedy type of stories. Yeah, it was kind of one of the weaker ones maybe in the book. Overall, though, they were all pretty fun. And, oh, the fly one. The fly one's pretty funny. He just keeps trying to kill a fly, and the fly just keeps making him crazier and crazier. And then eventually, somebody is treating him like a fly and trying to kill him, and it turns out he's really just a fly. Just absolutely absurd stuff. The demon sword's pretty fun. This sword gets out and shouldn't, so they get rid of it. And just beautiful stuff all the way around. I'm just flipping through the page, just kind of give you a little sampling of what you can find. This is, honestly, there's not a ton to say about it because it's a dead perfect book. About 130 pages, so you know, like I said, quick reads, 8-page stories, just all Steve Ditko art, and apparently they have other volumes of artists kind of at the same time. And I might grab that El Cid one. That sounds kind of cool. And you know, I kind of want all these now. These are just volumes that contain the full issues or whatnot. And really fun stuff. This is some of the best comics you'll ever read. Chuck Dixon will not steer me wrong, and so I very much enjoyed this. I'm not much of a horror guy usually, but I do like these like older horror stories. I guess they hold up a lot better, and the Steve Ditko art is just out of control, amazing. He just has a beautiful mind for just absurd stuff. So if you want fun comics, this is a good spot to go. This book was not very expensive. I believe the cover price is $19.99. I found it on Amazon for like $8 or something like that, hardcover, and a little bit oversized compared to comics these days. Definitely worth your read and definitely worth your time. All right, everybody, it's your boy Zach. Please subscribe to the channel if you like my reviews. I'm going to be doing more just things I like and things I'm reading because I'm not so interested in a lot of the modern stuff, you know, for a lot of reasons. So I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the good books, and I will talk to you soon. See you guys.